Hey guys, Alex with Seattle Dream Body Clinic here, doing a follow-up on Terry's visit down to Puerto Vallarta where he did his shoulder and the 100 million IV. So we're going to talk about his, he already told you about his experience down there and his trip, and now we're going to talk about how he's feeling now and basically his results from the treatment. So Terry, why don't you go ahead and tell us how your shoulder's feeling and how everything's worked out for you.
Real quick background is, if you'd seen the previous video, I've been fighting a shoulder injury for 4 years. It just would kind of go up and down, and finally last April, it was done. All my lifting was limited by my shoulder, not by strength, and so I had to cut bench press down tremendously. Maybe I could get 3 to 5 reps at 225. If I went up to 250 for a couple reps, the pain was just too bad. I'd pay for it for a week. So I could only do 2, maybe 3 sets at most. So that was April. I went down December 7th, and they said don't lift for a couple weeks. And so when I came back to it the couple weeks after that, I was able to start light and then just keep adding. And the shoulder was not limiting the adding. It was strength. And so it just kept getting better and better. I was able to add more and more weight and actually build strength. And so I got all the way from not being able to do much to setting PRs, and at my age, more than I've ever lifted in my life, I've tied my all-time max, I've tied number of reps at 295, I've doubled 315, I've got 7 at 275, 18 at 225, which is also a PR. So pretty much the stem cell treatment allowed my shoulder to allow me to work and allow me to do enough stuff so that I could be strengthened, rather than everything that I did before was, ow, the shoulder hurts too much, I'm done.
Yeah, so before Terry was having, he'd do a bench workout and he'd be sore for a week or so, prolonged just, discomfort in the shoulder, and he wasn't able to progress his workouts. Now, we did his stem cell treatment, and we also had one of our PTs, Mark Jamantok, do an analysis on him and help him. So he's also been doing a little bit of rehab as well, which has also helped kind of just get better results with the overall treatment, because, or basically help solidify those results. But initially his main restricting factor was the pain, and so when he bench pressed, he would get pain during and after, and it would restrict him on his goals. And so I know one of his goals was to get back up to 315 as a regular easy 1 rep max, and I believe you're now at 335.
Yep, I blew that goal away,
which is pretty amazing when we really haven't done all that much on the training aspect of things. We just kind of took the pain away, and now he's able to he blew his goal away. And I think 225 for 15 reps.
18 I got on
18, okay.
A week ago.
Yeah, so and that's just all taking away the pain. So we didn't actually necessarily increase his strength, but eliminating that pain allowed him to train a lot harder and recover better. And well, what would you say? Would you recommend this treatment?
Yeah, and I wasn't sure. I had to think about it. So I had done it month and a half, maybe up to 2 months later. I was thinking, did it really work? I have some external muscle pain that we're working through on stretching, but the internal pain seems to be gone. That was kind of the grinding stuff. And I'm thinking, man, did it really work? And then it dawned on me that I went, well, before I went down, I was taking aspirin or ibuprofen at least once, if not twice, if not 3 times a day, every day. Before I went to bed, if I didn't take those, I couldn't sleep. It just ached. And it wasn't just a light pain. This was a pretty deep ache and pain that would keep you from sleeping. And so I took that all the time. Well, a couple months later, it dawned on me, I hadn't been taking any aspirin or ibuprofen since I got back. That had reduced that inflammation, that pain so much, I didn't need them. And if I take aspirin or ibuprofen now, it's due to a headache or a stiff neck. But I think once I've had to take it for my shoulder, but it's been 4 months, and those NSAIDs pretty much, I don't really use them much anymore.
And something a lot of times, the question I get a lot is, do I have to continue going down? Do I have to do this treatment over and over and over again? Really what we've done is we've turned back the clock. We've helped his joints to heal themselves, and they've got a new starting point. So you can take it from there. I mean, if you trash your joints and you don't take care of them and you don't lift right with proper form, I mean, you're probably going to be back where you were sooner than later. But if you take good care of your joints and you lift properly and smart, and that's what we're bringing Mark on, and as well as our PT. You'll see more of him later. But we had him work with Terry a little bit too, and kind of analyze some of his overhead movements and his shoulder movement patterns, so that we could help him to understand what's actually going on too, right? I mean, there's some damage to the joint, and Terry also did the IV, the 100 million IV, and he had some arthritis in his knees and hip and hands, and that helped you quite a bit there too, didn't it? Yeah. So I mean, just the pain in the shoulder was, we went right into the joint with 44 million, and then we did 100 million IV, and that seemed to bring down the pain pretty much everywhere else too.
Yeah, I noticed Stairmaster, doing some of the other stuff that I do, my knees would always ache when I was trying to do Stairmaster. I had to do a lot of stuff. Now if they ache, it just means you got to do a little more stretching and a little more foam rollering. But before, it was, I would do stretching and foam rollering and maybe to help it, but it was still going to be quite painful. So I definitely noticed reduction in pain in fingers, especially with arthritic joints, knees, hips, lower back, and so it's been amazing. It's not perfect. It's not like, oh wow, I feel like I was 20 again, because like I'm almost 60, but it's substantially reduced pain.
Yeah, and so really what we're looking at here is, and we with Terry, we didn't have an MRI when he went down there. We had some old ones from about 2 to 3 years ago, but we do have some other MRIs that really show the healing that occurs when the stem cells are introduced. And it's pretty clear here. I mean, Terry was dealing with this for, I think, about 4 years.
4 years,
yeah.
And it was getting a little better, a little worse, but it never got great. It was always painful until it got to the point it was so painful it pretty shut down most lifting.
Yeah, and anyone who's lifted before has had a shoulder injury or a knee injury or something, and it usually creeps up on you, and it comes up on you over time. And usually it's a problem before you really know how it even happened or where it came about. But while there's different movement patterns and there's different things like foam rolling and trigger point and PT and stuff that can help, his shoulder had some damage from arthritis and whatnot and stuff, and it's just part of it's being almost 60 years old and bench pressing a lot of weight, and your joints can take so much. So basically what we've done is allowed his body to heal that up and pretty clearly eliminated a lot of the pain, which was really holding him back. And so we're trying to introduce a little bit more physical therapy with this to help people to help solidify this and make their make your dollar and your treatment go even farther. And what we're seeing is that it's really, really been effective, and we're excited to see what else we can do with this. And we're doing knees, elbows, back, shoulders, pretty much every joint. If you had a problem, there's a good chance we can treat it. And so if it's as long as everything's still attached, the stem cells, we can do a lot of stuff and most likely keep you off the operating table. Terry, anything else you want to say about that you'd recommend to somebody who's considering the treatment, or anyone that has anything holding them back, or anything that you might say that might encourage them to try it out?
Yeah, I was the guy. I was looking for somebody like me. Show me somebody that's older, that's gone through this and shown good results. And at that point, I didn't find anybody like that, so I figured, okay, I'll go to Mexico in December, so at least be warm, get a nice vacation. But with the friendliness of the staff, the results afterwards, I had no side effects. And so to me, people said, what was your recovery time? I said, they just told me don't lift for a couple of weeks was all they told me. And other than that, the only thing, and my muscles were weaker. I mean, it was jumping up all I could do. I remember hitting 295 for one. I was ecstatic when I got back to that, and that was all I could do. And that was due to muscle. And then I hit 305, and then I hit 310. And each time I went up, I was hitting a max where it wasn't, oh, the pain's gone, you can lift a lot. No, the muscles had to reacclimate to lifting. And so this has just been over the last couple months, I've made some substantial gains, probably 10% on bench and I'd moved up before then. I don't know where it's going to leave me, but I know it's going to be my choice rather than, or what my body's doing. It's not going to be that pain in the shoulder that's stopping me.
Yeah, and I think the real takeaway here is, his bench went up, and that's awesome. but he can lift without pain. And you know, anyone who's been in the gym can understand how frustrating it is to be in there working out and to be limited and be ready to go, but be limited by some sort of pain or some nagging injury that just will not go away. And I've worked with several PTs. I've been a personal trainer for 10 years. I mean, very familiar with pushing myself to the limit as well. And you know, there's only so much you can do. And so having stem cell treatment like this, and then couple that with supervised physical therapy or some, you know, simple exercises that can just kind of help improve your movement patterns and help stabilize the joint and help it work properly, along with the healing power. I mean, really the potential is limitless. So, you know, don't wait. Go out there and get your shoulders up, get your shoulder, get your knee, get your elbow fixed. I'm available. dbc.clinic is my website, and you can always reach me on my cell phone. I'll list that below. So always happy to talk to you guys. If you guys have any questions, if you have any questions based on the video, post them below. And then if you have any questions for Terry, I'll reach out to him and answer on his behalf. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you guys. Anything you want to say before we tune out, Terry?
No, give it a shot. Help me a lot. Hopefully it'll help you.
All right. Thanks, guys.